Hey, it's the Upgrade with Megan. It's day 17 of replicating the quantum car leap experiment. I look like absolute garbage. I'm so spent, but I'm so excited. I just spent the whole day doing my taxes, my personal, because I have a sole proprietorship, so doing my taxes and just like really checking that off the list. I'm so proud of myself for like doing the due diligence and doing the work to be able to like get things organized. I definitely have found a better system moving forward. This is like one of my greatest life hacks of all time is purchasing pre-made templates on Etsy or finding them online. So I found a Excel spreadsheet made by an accountant for the sole proprietorship for under 30K with no GST. How to put it in, perfect. I'll probably use that for one more year and then, or not even, man, how good would that be? It's like I gotta upgrade my template in a couple of months because I'm making more than 30K and have to start paying GST. Oh, that would be delicious. Delicious. So I'm gonna reward myself with a trip to the dollar store to get some accordion files, organize all my documents. I'm gonna have a bath. I've got my sheets in the wash. I'm gonna put them in the dryer. It's clean sheet day. I'm gonna have a bath and a face mask. I really feel like I need to brush my teeth. Is like the feeling that I get after I finish my taxes. I'm just so glad I have such a good system. I also lost all my emails in a Mercury retrograde hard reset, so I don't have any email from January to like anything pre-July. So I only have like it can only go off of like the hard receipts that I've kept and like the emails that I have like post that was like a lot of work. That was a lot more work than it usually is. But I set my intention this morning to spend some time with God, and that's what I did. I was doing my taxes. Dropped my daughter off this morning, got a great big coffee. I could feel myself trying to distract out of doing it. I'm like, oh, I could do this. I should do this. Oh, I gotta wash my car. I should pick up those accordion wheels. I'm like, no, girl. Bring her back. What did you say you were going to do today? And that's what I did today. And I love that I did it. Oh, just so proud of myself. This weekend had a bit of a long weekend. It was so much extroverting, you guys. I am extremely introverted, and I look at introversion and extroversion not as like outgoingness or shyness, because I'm like pretty outgoing, obviously not very shy. And I look at it as a way, like, how do you get energy? Extroverts get their energy from being outside and around other people, and introverts get their energy from being by themselves or being in their home space. I don't really think that there's an ambivert of like being for both. This is how I look at it. This is just my personal opinion. It's like you either get off on being around other people or you get off at being at home. And that doesn't mean like I like being able to go out with my friends. I like being able to have like those extroverted things. And like, but they don't fuel me, right? And even like teaching this workshop and like all this, like it's all like those, like they validate a part of me. And like they give me certain information, but they like that's not how I restore my energy, right? I restore my energy by being at home, reading a book, doing whatever I want, and doing all these little, just like today. This is like as tired as I am from the amount of like mental output. I feel really calm. I'm super restored. Probably has something to do with the coffee. I'm doing a water challenge with my friends. There's like 4 of us in my favorite group chat, and my friend made like this beautiful little folder. It's so Virgo of her. I love it. Even though she's an Aquarius, it's the Virgo in me appreciates the work that she did for it. Like being able to keep us accountable for drinking a certain amount of water each day. And I love being in groups and around people that are striving to do better. So this month we're going to do water. Pretty sure next month we're going to do physical activity. So it's like getting that done. I've got a yoga class planned for tomorrow. So my tasks this week were, let's back up a bit. My tasks this week that I reviewed like on over the weekend were to get my taxes done, and I have to get the workbook done for the Successful Empath workshop that I'm hosting on Sunday. Half the spots are gone, which I'm very excited about. With that, and being able to like really set this up to be able to be something I can do every second month, every single month, whatever it may be, whatever the energy allows for. And I love being able to think about like, how can I make this better? So how I usually operate is I think about things for a long time, and then I like, once I get a build up, then I like do it. Same thing with cleaning. I'm like, ooh, that's like all this sort of dirty stuff. I let it build up and then I do it. Just like my taxes, I've been pulling together little pieces of paper, mentally preparing myself until, okay, it's time to do it. And that's just kind of like how I like to operate. Otherwise, I feel like I'm kind of leaking energy versus like kind of getting off on the buildup of it, and then the satisfaction of the execution, which is definitely like the generator way in human design. Yeah, so it's like to do those two things. I have a yoga class booked for tomorrow, and I'm hanging out with my niece and nephew in the afternoon. And then like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is all about making this workbook and tweaking it, getting it printed. And I have oracle cards that I got to take to the printer. I think I'm going to do that like on Friday for a previous class I did, which is Crown Club, which is where I did like personal lessons from like each Disney princess. Yeah, and so this weekend, I definitely found my mind trying to like make a problem. And I'm glad there's a part of me that was glad that I had so much extroverting to do, because I was personally too busy to think and stew and worry about stuff. Right? So I love how it worked out. I do very much tend to like clump my extroverting into like weekends. Like if I'm going to be out, like I might as well like be out. So Friday we had my niece's birthday party in Edmonton, which was so much fun. And then I got my eyes checked, which is something I've been meaning to do for like 2 years. I ordered contacts and glasses, which have also been broken for like a year. I finally, like, how bad is that I have like not invested in like a pair of glasses for myself? And like, I'm blind, like -5 vision. Oddly enough, my vision's actually getting better, which is one of the mantras and stuff I am doing for myself, which I think is hilarious. I go in for the eye appointment, you know how they're like, oh, do you like version 1 or 2? I knew immediately what it is. He's like, this is the best prescription I've written all week, because it's so fast. Like, what am I supposed to tell this optometrist? Yeah, well, I practice my intuition on a fairly regular basis, so like I know what I like. Like for me, it feels really obvious what the answer should be. Why would I hesitate on giving the answer? And that feels pretty metaphorical. Right? There's like, where do we all of a sudden get an answer? And that gut feeling and that sacral response, human design. And then we try to like talk ourselves out of what's actually good or not using logic. And we're like, no, I know what's better. Why would I second guess what that is? Just like like getting glasses. Like, oh, I'm so proud of myself for doing that. And then I got a free pair of sunglasses because I got it shipped today. So it's going to be in time for our trip, which is so great. And then Saturday I worked. My client in the morning canceled. And I love that I have such trust with my timing with my clients, because I'm totally had a feeling that she was going to forget what she did, which is totally fine. I'm like, great. Well, I'm going to do this class that I've been meaning to do. I did my other class in the afternoon, met up with a friend, and then like got home and my mom's like, come over for dinner and finish watching a movie. She had started watching Oppenheimer with my teenage kids, so they wanted to finish that. So we went over there for Chinese food. I went into the hot tub while they finished watching Oppenheimer, read my book. It was just so great. And then Sunday was the time change, International Women's Day, and I met up with a friend whose daughter was dancing, who I've done Reiki with both of them. Just seeing her growth, like both of them, is just incredible. And then I took my teenage daughter and her friends to go see one of their best friends play her last hockey game. I'm like, what a way to sell it. The thing I don't like about International Women's Day is where companies use it to market and capitalize that are not like women owned. That bugs me. They're like, oh yeah, rah rah, women's rights, but like one day a year. Same thing, it's like with gay and trans rights, like rah rah on one day of the year, when really it should be like consistently part of your messaging. So it's like the part that I love being able to honor all the women that have come before us, all the people that have come into, like, I got emotional thinking about it, that of all the women in leadership that had to go first, for my friend's daughter to be dancing on stage, get emotional and come back and not apologize for it, and for me to take my daughters to go watch their friend play hockey, for them to lose, get emotional about it, not apologize for it. Like, what if I could tell my great-great-great-grandmother that that's what we did on that day, and that I was doing my taxes the next day for the business that I owned? Because, oh, by the way, I've written 4 books and I'm working on a 5th one, and we're working on healing stuff, and my teenagers are thriving in a single parent household. She would die. They would not even believe it. And I think about that shit every day. It gets me through. It gets me through. I have noticed, and I'm trying not to dwell on this, because again, I feel like this is my mind trying to make a problem, that like the bookings for appointments aren't there like they were when I first started doing that quantum leap. I felt so vulnerable re-listening to like Friday, Saturdays, like it's episode 15, 16, I think. No, can't be. Maybe. Well, shit, I better like do some more uploading. But just like that realization where I felt like I deserved all these bad things happen to me, like that was so vulnerable to talk about, and I felt really vulnerable watching myself talk about it. And I put it on my stories. I'm like, don't watch this. I don't want you to watch this. I don't like it, even though you should absolutely watch it, and it's really important. But just to get back to that, and it's just being able to recalibrate my like system and floor. I invested into like a podcast listening about like calibrating your nervous system, again, for what it is. I feel like I need that reminder. I do like being in containers, not, again, like I said before, to like fix a problem or to like get a result, but I need to have a space like held for me. I like being able to have that outward stuff. I really notice if I feel better listening or learning from someone's low ticket offer or their like their webinar, if I feel better after that, then I make another investment into their company. If I feel tired after it, that is a no-go. Like I watched one from this creator. He had his first webinar. I love his content. I like how he does stuff. I watched his webinar, was exhausted. Watched it, like listened to another webinar while I was doing my taxes, totally exhausted. Listened to this podcast at a class, felt calmer, rejuvenated. I'm like, okay, this is like more of what I need to do. And really it's just the same stuff all the time. You have to identify the feeling, what feeling that you're looking for, how does that feel in my body, process and feel the emotion around it. What do I want to feel like instead? Where do I already have that in my life? And it's just the same fucking thing over and over again. I'm like, where am I trying to make this more complicated than it needs to be, thinking that I'm going to put out more value, especially for the podcast, especially for my people, instead of just like actively choosing to reinforce this new level of foundation every single time. Easy peasy. So I'm here to pick up my daughter. We're going to go to the dollar store, get those accordion folders. I'm going to have like pasta for dinner. I want something so simple. Even though I also just want like a big juicy burger. I've wanted that for a long time. But it's no electronics night, so I'm gonna wash the floor, clean sheets, flip the tablecloth, reset the table. It's feeling very springy out here. I'm gonna read tonight, recharge my batteries, maybe do a little bit of sewing. And like keep it up. There is a part, my tax refund is not, I'm used to getting very large ones, which is not a good indicator, because that also means that like I'm not making enough money, or like I'm not making a lot of money. So I get a big tax refund, and this year I owe $35, which I think is hilarious. I've done a lot of work on my taxes and my money mindset. I love paying my taxes. I think it's a way to be able to contribute to my community. I would not be in the place that I am, and my children would absolutely not be in the place that they are if we did not have government funding. So to be able to pay that back. Like my taxes go to pay for that, and they pay for my sister-in-laws who work in the medical field, and they pay for my brother who's a teacher, and they pay for my children's teachers, like that's, and they pay for my library, and that's where my taxes go. And I love to be able to do that and to like feed into the system. Oh man, this kid just biffed it on the ice. And he's okay. Oh, and then his friend almost just biffed it. Well, everybody's cores are tight, so it's just very like exciting. I had mentally banked on getting a larger return, and I wanted to invest it into like a course to learn about. Somatic therapy is really big. I really noticed this in my clients. It's like we don't feel safe in our bodies, so we're not processing our emotions, and the Reiki's not working as well as it should. And I want to be able to take that so I can offer that as well to my people. But I'm like, regardless of whether that tax return comes in or not, that's something I need to work on to invest in. How great is that? Just like nothing. This is how a great, oh, what a great outfit. This is a way to spend time with God, is like just being curious. If I didn't have to worry about anything and I could handle everything that I feel like I need, but really it's like God decides what's needed and what's going to help me in my journey, like give it over to them. I'd love to invest in this course. I think that'd be totally amazing. I'd love to have a safety net. I think I have to implement Profit First is, I can't remember, I think it's Michael something, is a great system that I've used in business before. I think I'm going to start implementing that into my life now. I have like a bit of a safety net coming. There's my baby. And we can like calibrate to a new system in safety. And how amazing is that? Ooh. Yeah, it's time to go. Don't run over my kid. I think a huge part of being a teenager is learning to develop your spatial awareness also while developing your frontal. Okay, so until next time.